Okay, we got video game mods are in danger from your boy going indie. Congrats on the 100K, dude. All right, so
For as long as games have existed, players have been modding them.
bro, this was the funniest fucking shit when I saw this shit on like Donkey's video. Oh my god, was it Donkey's video or some? I saw it somewhere. I'm pretty sure it's Donkey's video with the Thomas the Tank Engine fucking mod of like that takes the place of all the dragons. Oh my god, I was in fucking tears when I saw that thing.
In oblivion is that?
Whether they were creating entirely new experiences or just putting Thomas the Tank Engine in a game. But slowly, the creators of some of our favorite games have become outright hostile towards mods.
Yeah.
And with some big changes happening in gaming, the future of modding might be in trouble, which seems odd. Some of the most successful games in history have benefited massively from modding.
Yeah.
Skyrim has been released like 15 times at this point.
Yeah.
People keep buying it because of the modding community.
Yeah, it's really great. And, you know, mods, I would say mods only serve to make the game better. For the most part, yes, there's like a couple like mods and for every game that they're like, oh, it's the nude mod or the fucking cheat engine thing that like lets you get items easy or gets like a lot of currency or whatever. But for the most part, mods serve to enhance the game and make it better. But conversely, like in terms of like public image, when like if like a streamer person is playing like like let's say Fallout something like Fallout 4 and it's got like over 100 mods in it, that could easily be like confusing for someone that has never played Fallout, and it's like, oh, this, and then they go to buy the game and then they boot it up and be like, oh, well, this isn't in the fucking game, but this other person I saw had this and that, and it looks so much different in this other person's stream. It's like a form of like false advertising is like what happens when like you see some streamers streaming with like mods on. So like, I mean, I guess you could say it's like a streamer problem, but then again, on the flip side, I would say there's way more people enjoying mods that don't stream than do stream. So I don't know. It's just so weird.
The thing is, many people who play video games are creative. They want to make the experience their own. And
Yeah.
if they have the tools to do so in a game that they already love, then they will. Incredible modding communities have created entirely new genres, turned mods into standalone experiences,
Yeah.
and have given games communities that have lasted 20 plus years after they've been released.
What was it? It came out as Arma, or no, before that. Warcraft 3 was a game, but then there was a mode in it, or maybe it was like a mod of the game called Defense of the Ancients. And because that mod did so well, some other company swooped in, like took it, made their own game and called it Dota, and used that like top-down isometric third person like version of the game, and you know, they won the lawsuit or whatever. And that's how we have Dota. Dota exists because it was initially a mod first out of Warcraft. And then what else do we have? I think we had Arma, and then somebody made like a modded version of it and called it PUBG, or was it H1? I fucking forgot. I know everything came from like the Arma mod. Was it PUBG or H1Z1 that spewed off of like it, like fucking forked off? I can't remember, but like one of those games came off of the Arma mod, and then that's how BRs came to like be like so like well known today.
While a lot of mods change up gameplay and add new content, some of the most commonly used ones make very minor quality of life tweaks, like adjusting the UI, changing the graphics, or
Oh yeah.
just add something funny. One of the first mods ever made was Castle Smurfenstein, a small change for Castle Wolfenstein on the Apple II. A little weird, but
Really?
we can all see from the beginning, modders have been making all sorts of stuff.
That's
this
so
is
funny.
Part of the fun. Majority of the time, I just see mods like Shrek and Skyrim. just people having fun replacing character
Yeah, I think Skyrim is the game that has the most mods ever in history.
models. Even though it doesn't look like much, the sheer goofiness of these mods
Oh my god, Thomas the Tank Engine in art was it RE6? Oh my god, Village.
does add value, because for many players, these small goofy changes add replayability, which ultimately sells more copies. The developers don't even need to lift a finger. Sounds like a win-win to me, right? Not to mention there are cases.
Yes, but there are some times where modders will create mods for a malicious intent. You know, they'll include like things that are like taboo into the game in order to make it feel like more visceral. Like they'll add like gore in it or like racist shit in it, where like that wasn't the intent of the original game, and it's like if someone were to see that in public, it puts like the game in like a bad view or something like that. And that's like one like just argument against mods, but like that's like seldom are mods ever like that. Most of the time, like 99% of the time, mods are there to like enhance the gameplay, you know, UI mostly.
This is where mods are genuinely game-changing, like the DayZ mod for Arma 2. When the
It was DayZ Arma 2, that's what it was.
DayZ mod came out, it was incredibly unique. Tons of people who had no interest in Arma wanted to play DayZ, but you couldn't play this mod without owning Arma 2 first. So in this case and many others,
and then didn't DayZ turn into like H1Z1?
players might not be that interested in the base game, but a modded version is what sells them. So even if a crazy realistic milsim isn't your cup of tea, you gotta own that milsim to play the awesome zombie survival game. So thanks to DayZ, Arma 2 saw a massive sales boost, as much as 300,000 copies within 2 months of the mod's release.
Nice.
That's wild. All that work done at no cost to the developer, and they got to just rake in the cash.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's honestly like one argument for modding. Like if somebody makes a ballin' ass mod, and it's free, people just buy the game for the mod. I mean, so like where's your argument there?
Another incredibly popular mod is GTA 5 Roleplay. This is a mod for GTA.
So I know that this is a thing. I just was never into it. Like I know it's a thing, but like, I'm just nah.
GTA 5 that completely changes the gameplay and allows players to do things like get an actual job, be a police officer enforcing the law, or get held hostage during someone else's heist. The popularity of GTA 5 RP has helped GTA 5 be one of the top 3 watch categories on Twitch for the past 3 years in a row. And if the game is popular and people want to try out the mod, they have to buy a copy of the game. The benefits of mods to both players and developers seem crystal clear. You would think smart developers would do everything they could to court modders to their game and make modding as easy as possible.
Yeah.
With all these benefits, why are some developers doing everything they can to keep
Switch modder Bowser released from prison likely owes Nintendo for rest of life. Oh yeah, this guy. Like I forgot what the fuck he did, but he did something to like get put in prison, and like now he has to like suffer garnished wages for like the rest of his life to pay off like some fucking $1 million debt or something like that.
modders away, even taking legal action. Well, for starters, mod support isn't as simple as just flipping a lever. There are many different levels of mod support that developers can add. They could make it easy for players to change numbers in a text file, or they could give them the tools to make new maps and levels, or they can make the script more accessible. Generally, none of these things are very easy from a developer's perspective. Developers can't just give modders access to the same tools they use to make the game, and adding mod support can take a lot of time.
Starfield mod support is coming to PC and Xbox after launch. Ooh.
Know-how and effort. But even if developers don't add mod support, dedicated players will find a way. Whether they create a custom mod launcher to make mods accessible, or just individually tweaking the game's code, no amount of dev resistance has ever fully stopped modding.
Yeah.
So modding is pretty much inevitable anyway.
It's fucking Charizard.
It brings so many benefits. Even if you don't have time to build in the tools, why do some studios react so negatively to people that mod?
Because I think the reason is because they don't want their game to be portrayed, in some instances, portrayed in a way that is not aligned with their like desired like end result for the game. So like whenever you see like Goku doing a fucking Fusion Dance with Thomas the Tank Engine again. It's like you're like you're like, as a developer, you're like, what the fuck? That's not supposed to be there. Because was he supposed to be like fusing with Vegeta or whatever? I mean, yeah, my knee jerk reaction is like, where's the harm? Like, there's nothing malicious about it. It only comes into play when certain things are modded to do like negative things to the game. You know, like putting like obvious like racism or fucking unintended things in the game or whatever to paint the game in a bad light.
Larian Studios might have something to say about reason number 1, backlash. Larian Studios, the developers of Baldur's Gate 3, recently received a ton of backlash from the modding community. Baldur's Gate 3 has recently been called the first real quadruple A game. Sorry, Skull and Bones.
Oh
The
shit.
developers have done an excellent job communicating with the player base about updates. And while they don't have any official mod support yet, they are very pro mods. So what has people upset? Well, the game recently had a major patch which changed the game's script extender. So players with any mods installed that used the script extender couldn't play the game with mods until it was updated. And shortly after the patch, many mods were updated only to break again when Baldur's Gate devs made another tweak. This double whammy of updates pissed off many members of the modding community, with some even threatening Larian's development team. Again,
What the fuck?
with some even
Baldur's Gate 3 players appalled by dev death threats over mod support. What the fuck? Like, you do not like threaten people for fucking updating a game. Like, what the fuck, dude? These people are so fucking unhinged. It's crazy.
threatening Larian's development team. Again, Larian is very pro mods and is even planning official mod support by the end of the year. But their first concern has to be making the base version of their game as good and stable as possible. And even though it's a small group of people, when a developer puts in as much effort as Larian and they get death threats,
The threats and toxicity against our devs and community teams will only harm the conversation. Please stop that. Yeah, this is like fucking ridiculous. Like, the people that are like threatening them and shit, like, fuck off. Like, what are you doing?
from modders,
They fucking came out and said, yes, we support fucking mods in our game. What more do you want? Stop coming out with patches. Well, the game's not fucking stable yet, idiot.
other developers might get a little bit nervous. But player backlash is only the tip of the iceberg. The second issue is legal. Remember that Thomas the Tank Engine mod? The player who made the first popular one for Skyrim got in some serious legal trouble with Mattel, the company that owns the rights to Thomas. Mattel began issuing takedown requests on YouTube videos featuring the mod, and
There's no shot.
the creator was contacted by Mattel's lawyers, who were upset because he had diminished Thomas's brand by showing him
What? Why? How is that diminishing Thomas's brand? Like, I thought Thomas the Tank Engine was cool again as an adult because I saw him in Skyrim. I was like, damn, this child. Like, I saw this show, like Thomas the Tank Engine.
because he had diminished Thomas's brand.
Like, I remember watching this show. This was like a show I used to watch all the time as a little kid. The thought never occurred to me that, oh, the image of Thomas the Tank Engine is now so diminished and destroyed. I can never live with myself now that I saw him in a video game. I saw him fuse with Goku. I saw him fly around in the air and breathe fire out of his mouth to kill people. Like, what? I mean, that thought never occurred to me.
And by showing him roasting people alive. When developers are creating a new game, they have to be careful not to infringe on others' copyrights. But modders don't usually worry about that, which is why so many mods just add copyrighted characters into the game. Now, developers aren't on the hook for what modders do with their game. As we saw with the Thomas mod in Skyrim, the modders got sued, not Bethesda. But many studios still don't like other people's IP popping up. In 2022, Rockstar clarified that it wanted RP to continue to thrive, but it was not okay with the misuse of Rockstar trademark in other people's IP. So no Arthur or SpongeBob. Which is also why developers sometimes sue modders themselves, because if they don't like what modders are doing with their game, or if they think it negatively impacts their brand.
First powered Pokemon mod taken down by Nintendo. Oh my god, I had no idea that this was a thing. So somebody made a mod for Power World that literally it was just an import of like all the base Pokemon into Power World. But okay, so I get that. That's like Nintendo already had Power World under a magnifying glass. And for someone to make a mod to import like all the like regular ass Pokemon into the game is so fucking hilarious to me. Oh my god.
They sue, which is why so many studios hate mature content mods or mods in general. They believe
The mature content thing, yeah.
it hurts their brand. Companies work really hard to
Well, quit making games for little kids. Make some games for fucking adult gamers. I don't fucking know. There's probably more context behind that.
portray themselves a certain way. If your brand is supposed to be seen as family friendly and safe for kids, then your games
Yeah.
need to be family friendly at all times.
Yeah, I mean,
Except for that one.
except for Bayonetta on Nintendo. You know, it was kind of crazy to see like a kind of adult game like Bayonetta on Nintendo because I never associated like good looking women to Nintendo. I just never associated the two. So I have no idea how Nintendo was just like, yeah, we'll make this game. It's like crazy to me.
Don't worry about that one. But if modders come in and make a lot of easily accessible, not safe for work mods for your supposedly kid-friendly game, that can really damage your image.
Yes, and in that respect, I would probably agree with them.
Nintendo is notorious for fighting modding of any kind in their games. And this is the primary reason why. Allowing modding, particularly in an online environment, can make it very hard for developers to control what shows up in their game. And even if they set restrictions and rules on what's okay, they don't always get followed. Which is why companies like Blizzard, Take-Two, and Epic have all sued modders. So if companies don't want to worry about legal issues or brand degradation...
So like, where's the incentive to be like a modder for a game? Like, there's almost no incentive. You're just doing it for the shits and giggles at that point.
They usually dislike modding. The fourth reason developers don't like modding is because they want to control what happens in their game, and the most obvious problem developers face is cheating. Fighting things like aimbot.
Oh, well, yeah, I agree with that one wholeheartedly. 100%. Fucking start suing the fuck out of all the cheaters. You fucking spineless ass devs. Stop fucking banning Thomas the Tank Engine and fucking, Yoda in GTA. No one gives a shit about that. They're just They're just changing how the character looks. Start fucking cracking down on your shooting game. You fucking spineless bitch.
Mod menus that give godlike powers and wall hacks. Developers hate cheaters because they negatively impact other players' experiences, which can cause people to stop playing or never buy the game.
Yeah.
Very obvious reason to not like certain mods. And
yeah, I 100% support suing the fuck out of like all the cheaters, pay all the fines, fuck all the cheaters. Just fuck them.
I'm completely behind this one. Now, the fifth issue is something newer: third-party monetization. What do I mean by that? Well, for example, NFTs are something that many developers have actively avoided, but third-party
Oh yeah, this is like any game that's like an NFT game, I immediately think it's a clown game. I do not take NFT games seriously at all. I don't care how good the game is. I don't care how good the gameplay is. If there's NFTs in it, fuck it. The game doesn't exist to me.
modders have tried to tie them to their servers in more than one game. In GTA, the rapper Lil Durk created his own RP server with NFT tie-ins, which Rockstar shut down real quick. Minecraft had this same issue, and Mojang informed everyone that they would not allow blockchain products in the game at all.
Good.
The question is, as a developer, do you allow modders to monetize their products that use your game? Many developers clarify in their game rules that all derivative products cannot be sold and must be available for free. But some developers allow monetization. For example, NoPixel, one of the most popular GTA RP servers among streamers, requires a donation to be seriously considered for access.
Oh.
Rockstar hasn't shut that one down, so there's a tolerance bar somewhere.
Oh.
It just varies from company to company, and I see third-party monetization being more of an issue in the near future. So gaming has changed a lot in the last decade, and what used to not matter matters a lot now. And many developers have started to view modding as a threat to their bottom line.
Mods threaten revenue, but you, like in the beginning of the video, you said mods can drive revenue. but now mods can take away. I mean, it's a give and take, I guess. Let me see.
In an era of online-only games and microtransactions, modding isn't as simple.
Oh yeah, for the fucking case for Fortnite. Fortnite does a fantastic job of getting like all the licensed IP characters in their game. So there's no real point to modding like fucking Yoda or Darth Vader in there because they're already in there.
As it once was. With new monetization strategies, many of the things modders used to create and release for free, developers are now trying to sell. Every game has all sorts of things that they sell, and these things make insane amounts of
fucking
money.
Dead by Daylight or whatever with I mean, I know this isn't DVD, this is Call of Duty. Dead by Daylight has like almost every horror movie like serial killer in that game. Like, and I think it's done very well. I think that's a cool thing. You know, Fortnite has all the goddamn characters in the world that you could ever want in like a battle royale.
The first sparkly horse.
And then, you know, Call of Duty is trying to get every celebrity into their game to try to just completely, utterly destroy your temporary suspension of disbelief in Call of Duty. You know, you're trying to get every sports player in there, every rapper in there, every whatever. You know, you got Kevin Durant, you got Nicki Minaj, you got Snoop Dogg, probably got a ton of other people in there for sure, man.
In World of Warcraft made more money than StarCraft 2. Fortnite made over $50 million from one set of NFL skins. Cosmetics and in-game purchases make stupid money.
What the fuck? That's like the easiest fucking layup of my life. Sports fans are so fucking spineless, dude. They're like, oh, my favorite player. Oh, I need him. And the only thing that they see with their player is their jersey and their logo. Meanwhile, it's like a standard guy. You know, how much time do you actually think was like put into like all the facial features to make that person look like your favorite person? Like, who is this? Somebody on the Patriots? Whatever this number is? Who knows how much actual time they put into like, you know, putting, you know, into like the facial features, the character model and all that shit. Bro, this is like the easiest fucking layup. Sports fans are so spineless. They just see the logo and the number, and it's like, that's my guy. I need to buy him.
Stupid money. And developers don't want modders to add in anything they could sell. If modders make content that's free and developers allow it in, players are less likely to buy the cosmetics. So in today's day and age, the line between what modders are doing and what developers are doing is more blurred than ever. Now, I am a firm believer that modding can be a great thing for players and developers. Yes, it can sometimes cause legal or technical issues.
But Baldur's Gate 3 devs receive threats over broken mods. Oh my god. The devs receive threats over broken mods? Oh, so what? Like they did an update patch and then some mods worked and then some mods didn't work, and then it's like, oh, you're gonna kill you. And it's like, bro, the Baldur's Gate 3 mod community seems like so unhinged.
But most of these issues are few and far between. The biggest reason developers are fighting modding today is money. But you can work around this. It's important to remember how influential modding has been on games.
Yeah.
It has revived some, created new genres, and brought developers millions of dollars for no effort. There will always be the Nintendos who fight modding tooth and nail, but developers should strive to be instead like Mojang and Valve, embracing mods and player creations in whatever way they can, even if they sometimes have to lay down some restrictions, because the pros outweigh the cons. So how should developers navigate this issue in the future to benefit everyone, even in live service games? Some games like Fortnite don't allow mods, but they do have their own platform with Fortnite Creative that allows people to create custom experiences in their game. Creators
That's pretty
can
cool.
even get paid to do this. Other games like Counter-Strike let player-created cosmetics get voted into the game, with a big financial incentive for the person who made it. Smart developers.
That's cool. I give Counter-Strike a lot of shit because of fucking the gamble loot box skins, but the fact that they can like just vote for their favorite skins to get put in the game, I think that's really cool.
Will find a creative way to let their community
Sonic
bring them value, even if it's not on a DayZ scale. And if GTA 5 tells us anything, if gamers want to mod a game badly enough, they'll find a way. So whether you use community votes to add player-made content, create an in-game system, or add robust mod support, there are so many ways to benefit from player creations and mods. And since it will likely happen anyway, you might as well take advantage of the effort the community puts in. I think developers should allow and encourage modding as long as it doesn't negatively impact other players' experiences or break any laws. Ultimately,
as long as it doesn't affect other players' gameplay in a negative way and it doesn't break any laws. I think that's a fair ask of modders.
Ultimately, each developer will make that decision, but I think the smartest developers will realize how valuable a modding scene can be for their game.
Yeah.
Luckily, the developers who
Like, if your game doesn't have a modding scene, your game's probably dog shit.
are becoming less mod friendly are mostly AAA. While it's not necessarily standard for indie developers to always have built-in mod support, especially due to the resources required, as long as the game can be modded, it will be. One of the best indie examples of this is one of my favorite indie games, Rounds. A simple mod for the game that increased player count has almost 1 million downloads. And that mod is the entire reason I bought the game. Modding games is a hobby born of passion. Modders have a vision for how a game they love would better suit them, and they work hard to make it happen. Modding brings so much benefit to games and can bring huge value to the players and the developers.
Yeah.
As long as there are games that are moddable, modding won't be going
the fuck?
anywhere. Thanks everyone for watching. For those that haven't tried Rounds, go pick up a copy and get the multiplayer mod. You and your buddies will be glad that you did.
Nice. Yeah, man. Like, I love mods in games. I think they're cool. Like 100%, dude. Like like outside of the few instances where mods are, either break a law or they're like made to affect someone in a negative way, like cheats or something. Fuck those guys. Yeah. I love mods, dude. I support them 100%. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one, all right? Later.